as I was doing preparation, right? Me and you, we've known each other for years. You know what I mean? And so I knew that it was going to be a genuine conversation. We've always vibed, you and I. But I was kind of doing some research and looking up some things about you. One of the things that you've said in the past and you're very adamant about is if you gangster, gotta talk about being gangster. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I mean, I've lived in I've been around situations where it's like big fish, small pond.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, it's like it's always just comes down to validation. What type of validation you want in life, who you're around, what they want to validate themselves with.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was raised and loved by killers, like genuine killers that went jail or people, you know what I mean? Like a lot of my dad's friends either in jail or not here, right? And I was raised around that, knowing like, oh, uncle, like, and they loving me and not ever knowing that because they wasn't around here acting like they was something.
Yeah.
They was just being my uncle.
Yeah.
Then later on, I'm adult, I was like, what? Like, he did that? Like, like, that guy used to love me and coddle me and I would have never guessed. That's how I just knew, like, love was love and everybody had roles they had to do, but and I was crazy that I was, like, pretty much raised in raised in the chaos with love, like that's where it's like I know a real gangster.
Yeah.
Like I know real G's. Like
and they don't talk about it.
No, they just are.
Yeah.
Like, I've never Max, Nate, Nick, they ain't walking around saying who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody else talking about them. They're not walking around like being, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like that's not the validation they need,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So that kind of brings me up to like being born and raised on the West Side, bro.
Yeah.
How was that, bro? I mean, you made it to stardom, your fame, you're known for scrapping.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your upbringing like? And did you get into fights as a youngster?
I fought in like scuffles in elementary. I think like by 6th grade, that was like my last scuffle. Other than that, like nothing outside.
Yeah.
Nothing outside of school. Like, just all just talk and
Yeah.
usually the situation is solved. But yeah, after I'd say 6th grade, I never really had any physical altercations in the sense of me fighting with someone.
And you've made a career of fighting. That's
yeah.
ironic.
Well, I was always a martial artist. That's why I was like competing and like testing myself. I didn't like, I wrestled in high school. So I wasn't raised around having a team and relying on them to win.
See, so that's a common misconception, I think, with people that aren't, that don't really follow MMA, is that these guys are barbaric outside of the cage. But I think that they're probably some of the most disciplined people in the world.
Well, I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
True,
right? Like,
true.
It's like, you think I'd want to mess with a chef in a kitchen? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's good with those knives. Like, you're good with, I don't expect him to be going around and stabbing everybody, right? But I'm like, bro, I bet you'd fillet me up right now. Like, I'm just saying, like, they're good in their craft. Like, I keep it where it's supposed to be for me.